And the Smogon Tour 13 series continues. What's up, Grasshoppers? Chun is back. Today I've got a match against Chase from Smogon, so this is not Wild Chase. In before anyone says that. It is a DPP standard match. A little bit of backstory on my opponent. He was a sub for Team Italy for Smogon's World Cup of Pokémon 7 that was held this year. This battle is also from week 2 of Smogon Tour 13, but this is from the tournament I entered on Sunday. And I realized that I never gave an explanation of how Smogon Tour operates, and I wanted to do that real quickly before we get started. Most of you know how Smogon Tour works. For those that don't know, the way Smogon Tour works is that tournaments are held on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of each week that the tour is going on. However, the generation that is played changes each week in a certain order. This particular tour had advanced OU, so 3rd generation the first week, followed by 4th generation OU the second and the next week, and then the week after that is 5th gen black and white OU, and it would then start over in the same order for 9 weeks total. But now that I gave a quick rundown though, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna lead with Raikou. He's gonna lead with Gliscor. I immediately thought this was a stall team since League Gliscor was popular on stall around the time of the tour. I don't have hidden power ice, so I go to Gyarados scouting for Earthquake or Stealth Rock. Makes a risky play though, and he U-turns out instead, revealing a Raikou of his own. It looks like it's not stall after all. I don't want to stay in, so I decide to reveal Bronzong to see what kind of Raikou it is, but he double switches back to Gliscor. There's only 2 reasons why he double switched this early. Either he wanted to scout what I would do with Gyarados to get an idea of what item I had, or he expected me to go to something that partners well with Gyarados, like Tyranitar. Thinking either Taunt or Stealth Rock is his next move, I just decided to reveal HP Ice now to put some pressure on Gliscor, possibly get a free switch into something else if he decides to roost afterward. But I get a crit, which definitely helps since it's normally a 2-hit KO, and he reveals Togekiss. Togekiss can be pretty dangerous. I decided to just stay in and scout what type of set it could be, and I go for HP Ice again. He reveals Encore. Between that and the damage I did, it looks like it's a support set, though he could have Baton Pass as well. Here I decide to go to Raikou to scout some more. If he nasty plots, I can threaten Thunderbolt, and if he Thunder Waves, I have Lumberry. He does show Thunder Wave, so it's definitely the support set, and not a Baton Passer. I take a bit of a risk here by staying in and going for Thunderbolt, since Thunderbolt with extreme speed can OHKO support Togekiss, but the chance is slim. I think I just want a lot of damage on Togekiss at this point. He reveals Tyranitar though to take the Thunderbolt instead. Judging from the damage, it's some type of offensive set. I make another ballsy play and stay in the Aura Sphere. I was thinking the only way he would outrun me is if he was Scarfed, and the chance he would OHKO Raikou with Stone Edge was just under 50%, assuming no crit. He gets absolute minimum damage on that Stone Edge, which really sucked for him, since the Aura Sphere is now going to take him out, and he has to bring in Lucario. I just stay in just to see what kind of Lucario it was. He showed extreme speed. He does have Life Orb, even though the replayer doesn't show it, so it's Swords Dance. I bring in Gyarados to check it. He switches out, telling me he might not have Stone Edge, or he's hiding it from me. Stone Edge was pretty rare on Lucario during this time though, and he reveals Starmie as I Waterfall. It shows leftovers, so it's most likely a Rapid Spinner variant. Rapid Spin, and it still carries Thunderbolt. With him having Raikou, I don't want to burn Black and Berry just yet, so I switch to Bronzong. He pulls a Hydro Pump out of nowhere, which definitely surprised me, but thankfully it missed. I decided to stay in to set up Stealth Rock and also to find out how much Hydro Pump would do. He goes for it and it hits. It looks like it's a 3-hit KO, but not a solid one. I know he's going to spin here, so I go for Payback. The mindset's the usual one. If he's going to spin my rocks, it's going to cost him damage to do so, and he's going to be pressured since a recover sequence might not work out. Looking at the damage Payback did, he can't win this matchup, and I knew he realized this, so predicting him to switch, I set up Stealth Rock again as he goes to Togekiss. And here I make a really bad play. I decide for some reason to go to Gyarados on the Thunder Wave. I really don't know what I was thinking, honestly. Either I thought Togekiss could have a fire move, or I just thought Encore was coming. Thunder Wave was the better move and was definitely more obvious though. I decided to go back to Bronzong, realizing my mistake here. In hindsight, I might have just plain forgot about Thunder Wave. I get to see a third move though, which is Air Slash. That means his last move is most likely Roost, although it could be Aura Sphere, I suppose. I decided to stay in to try and trick my Toxic Orb away. Air Slash comes my way again. Thankfully I don't flinch, and now Togekiss is on a timer and he won't be able to stay in forever, even if Roost is the last move. I think the last move really floored him because he stayed in the Thunder Wave, which didn't make much sense unless he really thought I'd switch out to prevent Lucario from setting up on me. I must have really wanted Togekiss gone though, because I stay in attempting payback and I get first turn Parahack. So seeing as I did stay in, he goes to Lucario to try to set up a sweep since he knows the whole Bronzong set now and it can't touch Lucario. I stay in the payback to force Togekiss out, and I'm going to go back to Gyarados to get the Intimidate, knowing he will most likely Swords Dance, which he does. Sand is going to take Gyarados out, but that will allow me to go into Magneton to trap this Lucario, and Magneton is Scarfed, so it's going to outrun Lucario. I go right for the Hidden Power Fire, and I just missed the KO, and Luke's going to finish Magneton with a close combat and go down to his own recoil. So it's a double down situation. In hindsight, Thunderbolt may have KO'd since it has 2 more base power factoring stab, but then Raikou gets a free switch in. So I go back to Bronzong as he goes back to Starmie. I decided to just finish the Starmie off since I have a slight advantage in this matchup. He'd have to hope for first turn Parahacks to survive if he went for Recover, but he just spins away my rocks before going down instead. And out comes his own Raikou. So now we get to see what kind of Raikou this could be. He's going to show the substitute, and I get Parahacks trying to go for the payback. So I'm facing another substitute Calm Mind Raikou set, it looks like. I need to go to Tyranitar now before it gets too many boosts. And this is not Crown Raikou, thankfully. But he is going to show the Calm Mind here. And the next turn, he is going to go for the Thunderbolt since he's safely behind the sub. And even after that boost, it's going to be a 3-hit KO. And I just Earthquake just to break the sub. And at this point, I know it's game now, because all I have to do is Dragon Dance up and I'll outrun the rest of his team. He can't sub since I'll just break it next turn. He has to hope that Thunderbolt crits or lands paralysis, and it does neither. So I finished off the Raikou with the second Earthquake, and his last is going to be the Togekiss, but this is Shukaberry Ice Punch. The Shukaberry Ice Punch variant I'm running, so I show the Togekiss the Ice Punch, and that's going to be it. But it was a great game chase. Support Togekiss is a pretty unique way of setting up a sweep for Swords Dance Lucario, along with the usual suspects like Scarf Tyranitar. Hacks was about equal, I guess, given what didn't matter and what could have mattered. But regardless, I move on to round 2 of Sunday's tournament, and I'll be going up against the one and only Pocket. So it's definitely going to be a tough one, but hopefully I can pull it off. Also, for you guys that missed it, check out the last upload I put up on this channel. It was my 100th upload special. It's the first episode of the Chun Cast, which is kind of a podcast thing. Maybe it'll turn into some type of series or something like that. Something I'll keep doing, but we'll see. But until next time, guys, Chun is out. Peace.